Aboruboyo, Aboye Boshishe, to everyone, and I bid you welcome to the teaching session today, where we shall be talking extensively about the etymology of Ifa, and also, if we can equally just say Oduology, or why should we prefer Oduology to Ifa? Aboruboye, Aboye Boshishe, to everyone that is joining us. Àṣìbà lára o, àṣetàjèrò o, àṣetọ̀rọ̀gún ilé ìlà, ìbà àwọn tó jáwé, káwa ò tó jáwé, àwọn tó wẹgbò ká tó wẹgbò, kíbà wa ò ṣẹlẹ̀ ni. According to the music of Owomede said, èèyàn ìbọrúbọyè kó yàn kú, which means you cannot listen to instruction, obey it, and make sure you use obedience as sacrifice and then die suddenly. Kíbà wa ò ṣe o. A ò ní bá wọn rógbógun lóko o, a ò ní bá wọn yànkú lé ayé o, a ò ní ṣorí gbé o, a ò ní ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbé o, a ò ní tójú ilẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀, a ní ná kan tán ká tó rì míì, a ní ṣàṣìṣe o. Ẹni táwa wá ṣẹ̀ tí ò ní dáríjì á, káwa má bá wọn ṣẹ̀ wọ́n ní ayé táwa yìí. Kọ́mọdé ó yọ́nú sí wa o, kágbà ó yọ́nú sí wa o. Obìnrin ilé, ọkùnrin ọjà, ẹ fojú re wò wá, nítorí ojú re là fi wà fín, ojú re là fi wowó. Ojú re là fi wọ ọmọ tuntun tá a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bí, ojú re ni kọ́mọ aráyé ó fi máa wo àwa o. Kí pàkọ́ tiwa ó má gbọ́ ṣùtì látòní lọ, kórí ẹlẹ́gùn tí mo bàjẹ́ káàkiri gbogbo àgbáńlá ayé. Kí penipeni ó mọ̀ pè wá lórúkọ, kí pèèyàn ó mọ̀ jẹ́ wa nípè. Ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ̀ rèé, àfọkọ́yẹrí, alápò ere fáwa tá à ń ṣe ere. Kíre ó mọ̀ tọ̀ wá lẹ́yìn, bọ́gẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ tágbẹ̀ ń wọ́tọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn. Ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ̀ rèé, àfọkọ́yẹrí, alápò ìkà, kọ́ máa gbé gbogbo àwọn amọ́niṣe ni afàìmọ́niṣe ni, aṣẹni tán bá ní dárò. Àwọn aláròká ayé kó mọ̀ gbé wọn gbìn. Káyé ó má rọrùn fún wọn, kí wọ́n má rojú ṣẹlẹ̀ ayé. Nítorí pé ẹ ń bá gbégún wa kálẹ̀ ayé tó gbé tiwa káyà, ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru ni ó kó máa parúfẹ́ òní bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Àṣẹ. We simply make decrees using Meduneta to the universe to say that for everyone who have decided to antagonize us and to ensure that we don't live a happy life, whoever has dedicated themselves to our own destruction, may they replace themselves with us. May they be the ransom for every request they make. Every gallows that has been raised up, every single gallows that has been raised up as our execution spot, may they be the one whose neck is hung on it. Whoever has said that our existence is inconveniencing them, may they not find a day of rest, peace, or ease on this planet. For every single one who have decided to say our happiness will constantly be unworthy, And they deserve nothing but shame all through the days of their lives. Ashe. Before you garner the audacity to say Ashe to those declarations, also ask yourself, are you doing the same to other people? Because you can only say as much Ashe to what you know you are not guilty of. Today, what shall we talk about? We'll talk about Ifa, the etymology, and the order of initiation of Ifa. The etymology and the order of initiation of Ifa. So before we continue today, I'd like to tell you that in the previous time, we have done several teachings which are not all listed here. Several teachings which are not all listed here. Remember, we had the series of understanding spirituality. We have spoken about how to manipulate lust. We have spoken about the living, the dying, and then also the dead. You can check it on our YouTube platform. We have spoken about how to deal with persecution that comes with embracing yourself, especially African spirituality. An interesting topic is this, unsolicited compassion. It's also part of the Understanding Spirituality series. You should check it out. I've been able to also tell you how to spot a true Babalawo in 5 seconds. The traits, the characteristics, and the attributes of knowing if someone is a true Babalawo. Recently, we spoke about, under Understanding Spirituality, we spoke about the knowledge of sex. All of this as it affects African spirituality. We have spoken about demystifying Abiku. Last time we spoke about Olokun, the energy of wealth and healing. Some people are telling me to talk about Obatala. We'll talk about that. A certain topic that we have not dealt with under Understanding Spirituality is the strength of limitations. The strength of limitations, which we will soon talk about it. But today, let's talk about Ifa or Oduology, the etymology and the order of initiation. The etymology of Ifa and also the order of initiation. It will be good for you to put a like button under the video so that it will be available for other people to also watch. Kamaba Opololi Oloro. Again, I'm here today to upset you. You'll be angry with me. You'll be free to disagree with me. You'll be free to lambast me. You are free to abuse me. You'll also be free to call me names. But you'll not be able to stop me from telling you the truth. Torí àìpò mágogo ọba lẹ́nu, kò sẹ́ni tó lè pò mọ́ wa lẹ́nu. And due to the things I share with you as people ready for learning, remember that we don't hate the Muslims. The Muslims hate us. We don't hate the Christians. The Christians hate us. We also do not hate the traditionalists. The traditionalists hate us. Somebody say, are you not a traditionalist? I said, no. I am a spiritualist. And so you might not see me in several of your meetings. And I will not be part of your very many cults. Because spirituality has got nothing to do with doctrines. It is plainly a self-discovery and being in unity, being one with the universe. This is why we are going to be today talking about Ifa stroke Oduology, where we talk about the etymology and the order of initiation. So you might want to take a pen and a paper. First, what is etymology? Aṣọ funfun ní sunkún aró, ìpìlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ní sunkún èkejì tán. What I just said is a plain white cloth. Find other colors attractive, because when you put color on a plain sheet or a plain white cloth, it becomes a pattern. So we said it is the nature of a plain cloth to look for pattern, especially a white cloth. Ìpìlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ á tún kún èkejì tán. The foundation of a certain word, always look for the explanation of the foundation. Ìpìlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ in Yoruba could be etymology. Etymology is the origin of a word. The origin of a word. What is the origin of the word Ifa? And what is the origin? Let's start with what is the origin of the word Africa? Africa, from history and etymology of it, it's a name of a certain warrior who is not of African descent. His name is called Africanus. Owing to his very many exploration, a whole continent was named after him. But what is the real name of the continent itself, which is Alkebulan, translating to the origin of mankind or mother of all. The origin of mankind or the mother of all. Ifa, as it is known in Western Africa today, is that what it was called by the ancestors? Now, I do not speak of your recent ancestors. I speak about the ancient ancestors. Just like when you wake the ancient Kemet people up and you tell them that they came from Egypt and they will be clueless. The same way you wake the ancient ancestors of the West African folks up, and you will tell them about the Ifa, and they will also be clueless. The ancient Kemet people wrote their languages in what we call Medu Netar, which is the language of nature. From the Medu, you have the Edu. The Netar is the same word for nature. The Netar is the same word for nature. Pardon me, everybody. And when they are going to write Kemet, a way to recognize themselves or speak a language, they will start by drawing a bird called owl, 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 a bird called owl. Followed by, or before the owl, you have a bunny charcoal, a bunny charcoal, a bunny charcoal, to signify the the skin, the skin color of the people that reside in that place. The skin color and also the temperament of these people. You are son of the sun, forged with fire. Followed by owl. Owl in order to represent your almost human-like face, the human-like face, and also the ability to see many colors, because only people, only melanated people can see different ranges of colors, even in the dark. It is also followed by a loaf of bread or barley to talk about the multiplication and the increase in food as it is given by Rivan Sultan. You know, we have Sultan, we have Yotan. We have Sultan and Yotan. The Sultan is what they call River Nile now. The Yotan is what they call Jordan now. And it is because of that river, they have multiplicity in food and increment. That's Kemet, the way they write this continent to signify the skin color of the people, the eyeball of the people, the the ability of the people, and also the temperament of the people. If they now want to now write the people of Kemet, Kemet is a continent, is almost like a nation, a country. But who are the citizens of Kemet? After all these things I've said to you, they will now put a female figure first. A female figure first, followed by a male figure. In that order, women take preeminence in this continent. Women are the queens. It was motherland till today. It's like motherland. Women own this nation, this continent rather. Mothers rule, women rule. Followed by men, who are the supporting system. That's the way we run our things. Before the masculine world, remember that the most singular popular figure and artistic drawing in the whole of this was the Ankh. So every pharaoh must hold the Ankh as a symbol of fruitfulness and fertility, because the Ankh represents the womb of a woman, the vaginal opening, the uterus, and the womb, which is life. So it is a feminine word before it was turned into cross, which is masculine. Remember, that's why I'm making, laying the foundations so that you know what we are here for. So they call them Kemetu, which means the people of Kemet, the black people. When you wake the people in those dispensations up now, and you now tell them that this is Egypt, they will be clueless. Why? Because it has been changed. Most of the system, majority of the system of the world today, called civilization, has been rewritten by the Europeans, the invaders. We were not also spared in the western part of Africa. Àyẹ̀wò là ń ṣe. So when you go and they say, lọ ṣàyẹ̀wò ara ẹ̀, wọ́n á ní kó lọ lè ṣàyẹ̀wò ara ẹ̀, go and check yourself up, go for research, go for checkup. They call it divination system. Ọ̀nà àyẹ̀wò. In this divination system also, I've told you before, it is important that the women are also represented, because without them, nothing gets done. Mo ṣe bẹ̀yìn ìyá Ọ̀pákẹ́ Àlàkẹ́ arógbáṣọ má balẹ̀ o, àtàpágorí àti fújẹ̀dọ̀. Ẹ̀yin apanimáwàgún olókìkí o. I venerate all the women watching me right now. Without you, we are nothing. So it is important for this woman to be present. This is not idle. This is the representation of the feminine energy. Without this, we do not consider anything as authority. So you can see their edu. Can you see their edu? You can see the breast. Àwọn lọ́mú àmúyìnmúgbẹ́. Àwọn lọ́mú rọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n fi ń bọ́ba tí wọ́n fi ń bọ́jòyè. It is from your breast I suck. Today, I suck goodness into my life. I suck healing into my life. And you see this woman is kneeling down. The woman is kneeling as a form of making placation, intercession for you. And below it is where we have this thing. And constantly, we shake it to give approval of women. Because when we do something, this way of life, and a woman energy is not there, it is as good as nothing. About your position. Are you following the teaching? I know the reason why I'm not rushing. Ifá arínúróde olùmọ̀ràn kan. Ifá tó bá jayé má jayà lóló. Ifá sọ̀rọ̀ dayọ̀. Is referring to a whole spirituality of people. Ifá is not a deity. Ifá is an order. Ifá is not a cult group. Ifá is an association of scientists, knowledgeable people who understand the back and forth and the front and in of the way the universe runs. Ifá is not a secret cult. Ifá is not Òrìṣà. You are the Òrìṣà. Ifá is simply the ways of the ancestors. Ifá is not a religion. Ifá is spirituality. What? That is. I would not say those who want to reach or speak or say Ifá in that way should not. But how simple is it for us to understand that Ifá simply means the indigenous faith of African people? Indigenous faith of Africa. Remember, I've told you the Africa is not even the real name of this continent. Indigenous, yes. Faith, their way of life. African people. Are we African people? Or we are Alkebulians? Whatever that case is, let's not go deep, so I don't upset you further. Being an indigenous faith is a thing that was given by the same invaders as a way of generalizing the way we practice and we do our thing. Because such as if you wake up the Ramesses and the rest of them, and they would not know that Egypt is the same as their Kemet, so also you wake up Orunmila, and then he will be clueless about what you call Ifá. In those days, they call it Obiri. Obiri. Obiri nílé ayé jẹ́ ó bá mì síwájú òtúbí sẹ́yìn. Obiri is the same for the orbit system. Orbit system, Obiri, orbit system. The way things move around. That's why the divination you had yesterday will not be the same of the one that will come today. Torí bó ni ti rí ọ̀la ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ní ń jẹ́ kí babaláwo yẹsẹ́ wò lọ́rọ̀ ọ̀run. Obiri, Obiri, yóò mọ yí síwájú ni. Obiri, Obiri. The people who understand the way the orbit system work, the direction of the sun, the language of the universe, are those ones who now get inducted into that order. They are the Babalawo. So this means that your ancestors started astrology, space researches and exploration before anyone ventured into it. So the cause of people stargazer. They have watched the stars, they have understood the space in such a way that they center their knowledge around the sun. Your ancestors were the first to know that the sun was not cycling around the planets. It was other planets cycling around the sun. That's why they call the sun Olodumare. Your ancestors were the first to divide the sun into 12 calendar years, which you now call, is it horoscope or zodiac today? So the concept of what you call Cancer, Sagittarius, this thing, blah, blah, àìpé àpè ní ṣẹ́rẹ́ èrèlé ẹrẹ́nà igbe ẹ̀bìbí òkudù agẹmọ. So when we continue to do that, now were the one who knew that every cycle, if you enter each cycle from the middle, if you enter each cycle at the point of 30 degrees, you can make 12 out of it. The 12 now tells us our 12 calendar system. First, we were using 4 calendar system. We were watching the flow of the water, the increase at the bank of the river, the weather. There are some trees and some leaves then that when they begin to wither, we know it is time for us to harvest. There are some that some flowers, when they begin to blossom, we know it is time for us to sow. It is easy for your grandmother in the village to know that the rain will fall today, and you are still seeing the sun in the sky. Where do you think is witchcraft? It is easy for them to sit down and say, the way this wind is blowing, why it is hot to you, everything is hot. The way this wind is blowing, it's going to rain tonight. And it will rain. Some of us young people possess that knowledge. When we now tell you tonight is going to rain and it rains, what do you call us? Maybe wizard or something. You will almost now want to fall down and begin to worship us. Whereas what you think is miracle is absolute knowledge. The system of divination was centered around the movement of the sun, which can never fail, because the world will never come to your world will come to an end, but the entire world is not limited to Earth. Are you aware that world, what you call world, is not limited to the planet Earth where you are. Yóò ti mọ ṣe nǹkan bí ìròbìnú jẹ́ fún wa. Bọ́ ọ bá rò pé ayé ò pé gbà, ayé pé gbà ó pé méjì. It is because you can see your fellow human that you think you are the only species that can stand on your 2 feet. Àwọn tí bá ń gbélé ayé yìí pọ̀. You will call them aliens. Once in a while, if you are privileged in your lifetime, you will be able to see this so-called alien. Some people move faster than the speed of light. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. I won't scare you with that, and I won't bore you with that. So let's not go into UFO conspiracy theories, A centered system of divination around the sun. The first thing I want to ask you, what is the meaning of Ifa? What is the meaning of Ifa? Do you know the meaning of Ifa? No, don't go through the trail of Indigenous faith of African people. I'm just asking. Okay, as you cannot tell me the meaning of Ifa, at least when you say someone is Oba, we know that Oba in Yoruba language means someone who is standing above all. Ba means to, is the same, Ba or Oba is the same word used for incubation process of the mother hen on the eggs. To have full control. Orababa, Oba. Those are meaningful. What is the meaning of God? What is the meaning of God? God doesn't have a meaning, does it? Does it have a meaning? If God has a meaning, everybody will not have a version for their own God. The Jews say Yahweh is God. The Muslims say Allah is God. The Christians say Jesus is God. When you go to India, you have over 3 million gods. God doesn't have a meaning. So you will now begin to apply whatever meaning that comes to mind to it. But if what they call the attribute of God is actually God, then you are the God. You are the God. Now we continue. But when you look at it far from indigenous faith of African people, now this miseducation did not start last year. It didn't start 500 years ago. But whenever we try to make divination, what comes out of divination? What is it that comes out of divination? Those things, those inscriptions we have in binary codes, what do they call them? I'm opening it to you. What is it called? When you say you are consulting or you are making divination, how do you hear the voice of Olodumare? How do you understand the angle of the sun in proportion to your own situation? How does it come? What is the name of those things that is inscribed? Left hand, right hand. What is the name? Don't be scared. Some people were asking me, some university people were asking me, now why is there no book for Ifa so that people will know that this? I said, the reason why there's no book for Ifa is how this thing applies to one differ from the way it applies to other. So there will never be a complete, comprehensive book called the book, the Ifa Bible or whatever, if that's what you are. Thank you very much. Someone finally said it. Odu. I said there will never be a comprehensive book for it. Why? Because if you come to me to make divination and you bring your friend, if what I'm seeing, listen carefully, if what I'm seeing on the plate of divination is, let's say, ọlọ́gbọ́n méjì, or let's call it òtúrúpọ̀n méjì, otherwise known as ọlọ́gbọ́n méjì, torí ọlọ́gbọ́n kan ò takókó omi sétí aṣọ, ọ̀mọ̀ràn kan ò mọyé yẹpẹlẹ̀, ọmọdé gún àgbà gbọ́ báyìí la fi dá lè fẹ́. Let's say we have òtúrúpọ̀n méjì. The way the òtúrúpọ̀n méjì will apply to you, who is suffering from barrenness, will be different from the way the òtúrúpọ̀n or the ọlọ́gbọ́n méjì will apply to someone who is going through court case. Remember, you guys are in completely different situation, but the angle of sun to you is bringing the same voice, but different applications. So if I said that ọlọ́gbọ́n méjì only applies to criminal case, but you are coming and your own case is a pregnancy issue or fertility issue, and it is ọlọ́gbọ́n méjì that is coming out, wàá pe fálékè, wàá pe ṣùlólè, wàá wọ̀run yanyanyan bí ẹni tí ò ní kú mọ́. Problem start. Do you now see the reason why there is nothing called Ifa Bible? Ká gbọ́fá, ká mọ̀fá, ó tún yàtọ̀ sí ká mọ̀fá tù, ká lẹ́bùn ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. That you know the Odu of Ifa is different from being able to interpret it as you have been gifted in proportion to the situation of people that comes to you for divination. That's why you see people, you say you go to Babalawo and they are saying something else, something different and all. Oh, Jano, they didn't hit the nail at the head. Because knowing the theoretical aspect of it does not really provoke your spiritual gifting. It is something different to be gifted. It is another thing to be knowledgeable. Are you with me? It is different to be knowledgeable. It is different for you to be gifted. Do you know that there are people who do not use Ifa consultation to actually gain insight into your problem in life? Do you know there are people like that? Who are so spiritually gifted? They are not Christians, of course. They are not Muslim. They are nothing. But they are so gifted, they can see through you. They know what you are going through. Sometimes they hold your palm. Sometimes they just want something that belongs, maybe your clothes or something. Sometimes it's just your name. And then some people, just by walking past you, they can see. That's nothing to do with the gift of Holy Spirit. Because if you believe there's Holy Spirit, then there must be evil spirit. What are we talking about? The one inside of you, how am I sure that it's not the evil? Why are you telling me it's the holy? See, there's no need for all those lies. This is the age of the Aquarius. Are you with me? Some people will carry water and they will see clearly. Some of you will carry sand and you will see clearly. Is it not a searching or a research mechanism? Some just need to hear your story and they go to bed. When they wake up, they'll tell you exactly. So I sometimes wonder when some people who are highly gifted have to come to me and tell me, Baba, tell me who I am. Why are you looking for who you are? This is you. Do not submit your crown before anybody, all in the name of looking for spirituality. The problem of mankind, especially of people in Alkebulan descent, is that we were not taught about self-confidence. We were not taught about self-confidence. You are gifted. You are equipped enough. You are God. You are spiritual enough. Take responsibility. Do not be ashamed of your extraordinariness. If there's a word like that. Do not ever be ashamed of how extraordinary you are as a person. People will call you witch, they will call you wizard, they will call you. Tell them, yes, you are. You are from the lineage of the witches. You are from the lineage and the descent of the wizards. You came from the generations of those who speak to trees, who speak to birds, who speak the human and animal language, who can call the air, the earth, the water, and the fire and send them on errand. Whatever name you want to call me, you are free. That's your problem. But if I know it before you, then I'm a God over you. So things should not happen to me, things should happen for me. Another problem is that whenever a man accepts his gifting and able to own it, the next thing that comes to your mind is how to lord it over other people. The universe never gives you a thing so that you can be a God over others. Be your own God first. You cannot finish being your own God till you leave this earth. The essence of your spiritual gifting is not to be a surveillance camera over people's life. A woman will be dating you and then she'll be using her spiritual gifting to be monitoring your life up and down. I had a dream about you. You're having sex with another woman. Is that the essence of your dream? To be looking for pornography, this thing of your husband? Is that the essence? The essence of your gifting is to reveal yourself to you so that you can become better than yesterday. Eh? The way I'm looking at you, around sort of for me, why don't you open an outfit to be catching cheaters in relationships? They abuse those gifting. They reduce their gifting to monitoring people's life. Sometimes the universe reveals some things to you for your own consumption alone. Just have it and keep quiet. Because the universe never trusts those who do not know how to keep their mouth shut. Who are you now? The custodian of the sacred secret of what? Of the universe. It doesn't matter if the universe, the secret of the universe, is the secret of your husband, your children. Sometimes you keep it quiet. Have you forgotten they are also subsets of the universe? They are as good as the universe, just as you are the universe. The custodian of the sacred secret of what? So you have reduced your own spiritual gifting to catching cheaters and those who are committing infidelity. People are looking ahead and they are seeing days of scarcity and they begin to save for now. You are not forecasting the future for us. You are not forecasting the future for us with your spiritual gifting. You are talking about us how Baba one day of your street is sleeping with the Yaramota. Is that the essence of it? Is that the essence of it? That's why Africans are not moving forward. Because we reduce everything to the point of what did I just say now? I said the etymology of the Ifa is actually the indigenous faith of African people, the ability for these people to understand the universe. And at the end of the day, when you say you have done the Ifa here, what comes out is Odu. It is the knowledge of Odu. Odu is a more meaningful word. Odu. Odu. Odu fèèyàn. It's a coded word. It's a coded word. Odu is a coded word. A word that is so vast that you begin to unravel it from one face to the other. It's like onion. Odu is likened unto an onion. It's not something you can just say far and it will be simple. Layer by layer, layer by layer, layer by every Odu can translate and interpret situations of your life from beginning to the end, and you'll be wondering, is it not just 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2? And we will start talking to you from beginning of your life to now. And if you permit us, we'll now tell you your future. Odu. Odu is not a lie. Odu is an encoded word, encapsulated word. Encapsulated word. That is why we call the sun Olodu, the owner of Odu. It is the knowledge of Odu that makes you know the unknown, which is called Are. Are, Olodu to Mare. It is the movement of the sun that teaches us to generate the Odu. It is the movement of the sun that helps us to generate the Odu. Olodu, the sun owns the Odu. The Odu will now begin to unravel the mystery, which is Are for you. Are you with me? Your Babalawo will not be happy with me. Because after you have heard what I'm saying to you, even you will realize that you know more than some of them. After you have listened to me, you will now realize that sometimes you know more than some of them. However, who was able to invent this particular Odu? It is the study of Odu that we now call Oduology, the study of Odu. It is the study of Odu which is generated according to the movement of the sun. The Odu is so extensive that when we begin to now unravel it, that's why Odu is unraveled with words of music. It's a music life stuff. We begin to talk about it, and we use some stories to also talk about it. Somehow, somewhere, your story will fall in. The study of Odu is now what is called Oduology. What Oduology is used for is called divination. The practice of this divination, the system, the study of the Oduology is called the Indigenous faith of African people, which is now Ifa overall thing. Àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jí Ọ̀rúnmìlà bá gbọ́n nírègún, ọkùnrin kúkúrú òkè ìgbẹ̀tì lónìí, he is clueless about what Ifa means. Àyẹ̀wò ni wọ́n ń pè. Àyẹ̀wò ni wọ́n ń pè. Go and make research about yourself. Somebody now said, because I love to answer people's question while they are thinking about that. If it is Indigenous faith of African people, why is it now called Afa in maybe Cotonou or Togo or in some part of Ghana? Thank you very much for that question that you did not ask me. I want to tell you that when the invaders encountered the people of Western Africa, especially the Yoruba people of Western Africa, they gave us a name of what we practice. Just like Christianity is a name after Jesus. They call him Christ. Remember that Jesus was not the beginner of Christianity. It was Josephus Flavius. Josephus Flavius, which you know as Peter or Saul, is the beginner of Christianity. Christianity, as a matter of fact, is called Pauline tradition or Pauline doctrine. Josephus is an adopted child of the Flavian family that belongs to the Roman, but Josephus is an Hellenist. Josephus is an Hellenist. Hellenist means what you call the half caste of today. Half Jew, have Roman because it emerged during the time of Roman invasion in the Middle East. Remember what the Roman always tried to do? Try to take over the world. And the Jews are the most discriminating, the most racist set of people you can ever meet alive. It does not matter how close you are to them. If you are not pure Jew by blood, you are not deserving anything. So this guy, Hitler, decided to play them their own card the other time. I don't hate anybody. I'm just telling you a real fact. It was because of the constant taunting, discrimination, racial segregation that Josephus was encountering, and as a very smart guy. The Roman people adopted the Flavius family of them, adopted Josephus. They needed to find their way back into the heart of the Jews, having molested them for several years. So they employed Josephus with some other people who are thinking, critical thinkers, who are daft and dumb in this modern day. They didn't know who would get their scope. Because the best conspiracy theory is employed by the government of the day then. Do you know that the concept of salvation is created by one man called Anselm? Anselm's theory of salvation. Go and Google and go and search it. Anselm's theory of salvation. It was the one that came up with that. They lived in a feudal system then where if you do something wrong, somebody had to pay for it so that you can be forgiven by the government. So he felt that let's tell people that they have sinned and somebody died for them, and the blood of that person is enough for you. You don't know religion, no. So let's stop. Every single thing about Jesus, I'm not going to offend you. Every single thing about Jesus, like I said, I'm not going to offend you. You know, when I say I'm not going to offend you, I want to offend you. So get ready. Get ready. Don't hate me. I'm just doing my own job. Every single thing about Jesus was a rewritten story of what has happened before. Every single thing. Jesus walked on water. It's an adaptation of Moses being put on one water. The only thing that can walk on water is the sun. The only thing that can walk on water is the sun. You wonder why the sun is always in the head of your Jesus? You always carry the sun. Thank you. Yeah. Anselm's theory of atonement. Go and search it. You will see the person who started it. The Bible is not the creation of one person. It's a combination of several people's madness, purported to put people under the chain of religion. Go and read. You will not read. You'll be saying your faith made you. You'll be saying, Jesus You'll be saying, see, all you know about God is what your pastor told you about God. What do you know about this God? Everything you know about God is what you were taught. When you were born, do you know God? When you were born, did you know Satan? Do you know hell? Do you know heaven? All of these things are product of education. Wọ́n kọ́ ẹni, ìwọ sì ń kọ́yàn, ó sì mọ lé fúlẹ́ńgé bí ẹni pé ó wà ń bẹ̀ ń gbò ṣẹlẹ̀. Is it not the Bible that said out of the mouth of two or three, the truth will be established? Who was there when Moses was saying that a bush was born, it did not burn? Who was there? Did you use the mouth of two or three to establish that? A person that wrote about his own birth. He wrote that he was born, that when he was born, they put him in a basket and now put him on water, a water that has crocodile. Hey, listen. ó wà lórí internet. Ẹ fẹ́ jáde ni? Sorry, it's an elderly man. Ẹlẹ́sà, mo ń ṣe broadcast kan lórí internet. Okay, pé mo dúró sí. Okay, all right. Okay, mọ́tò yẹn ló. Ẹ jẹ́ sir. All right, sir. Sorry, this is an elderly man and they. Yeah. I came to see Mr. Benga, so I parked in front of his house, and there are old people living this other side, so they were kind of there. So this Moses wrote about his own birth. He was not there. He grew up and he wrote about, he said in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Something that happened 5,000 years according to calculation before he was born. They said don't bear false witness. Whatever is not in your experience and you are sounding as if you are sure of is false witness. If there is God that will judge you at that day, in none is straight. If there's hellfire, you deserve a VIP ticket. Straight. Every recess that they take in court of that God, you need to go to hell first and come back. Were you there? You were not there. That's why I always tell people who follow this way of life, don't believe that one of Batala ascended or descended from heaven. Yeah. He took what is it called? Sand and a fowl. And the fowl was the one that is scattering with the leg. Everywhere the fowl scattered the sand to, it became a solid ground. What kind of people told you that story and you two now believe? You did not ask questions, you just believe. The kind of story we tell our children to render them dumb. Okay, if you do not believe that Obatala descended from heaven, but you believe that a God over around water and all that, are you not mad? If you now say you don't believe that one Holy Spirit impregnated Mary, but you believe that Okonleruba 201 Imole descended from the sky as an emissary of Olodumare, are you not mad? Are you not mad? They said when Obatala came, that he saw water and they started. But you are the same people that said it was Olokun that turned to water. Did Olokun came before Batala or Batala came before Olokun? Was there no water when it was? If you don't know, just say you don't know. Stop feeding your children nonsense stories. Religion has done enough on you. Don't come to this side of life and start the same thing. Always ask questions. Always ask questions. Out of the mouth of two or three, truth should be established. We were just told by Elisha that Elijah went upstairs with chariot of fire. How? How? You believe you did not query it. Because you believe that when they say Elisha also died and the bone was saying it's not the dead body, you did not ask, Shebi is the bone. Have they not created one tomb for you and said this is where they buried the Elisha? Carry your dead body from Africa, go to Jerusalem, dump your dead body in that place. Let's see if they rise again. Let's see now. There's a song that says, Ọlọ́run ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ bí ìta àtijọ́, àwa la ó sìn bàbá bí ìta àtijọ́. A God should be God without being worshipped or being worshipped. Let God convince us. set of frustrated, low-thinking people. Now, at the end of the day, because you were able to manage to accept that somebody evaporated in the sky, you believe that Jesus evaporated in the sky, but whenever they tell you that Shango disappear, Oshun disappear, Oya disappear, you don't believe that one. And I said plus Jesus, plus all those people that say Oshun and the rest disappear, all of you are mad. People were born and people will die. Obinim Bimo. Nobody descended. Nobody will ascend. Nobody descended and nobody will ikuyo pawogbowa as ijera nani. Ajera nule. Èmi ò like àbòsí. I don't like. When people come for divination, I always remember to tell them that remember that gbogbo lalakoko fefe yi ikú ni ó padà já sí lọ́jọ́ kan o. Bí kú bá dé, embrace it. Àrógun ẹ̀ ṣe o. But while you are still alive, enjoy the best of it. So we have Oduology, the study of Odu as it applies to individual lives. As it applies to individual lives. That is where you will see the true Babalawo from the fake ones. Are they able to tell you exactly? Ṣé wọ́n sọ kókó lójú ọlọ́rọ̀ kọ́lọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ ó gbọ́? Ẹ̀làbọ̀ yìnbọn ṣiṣẹ́ ọgbọ́ atọ́. It's not because you believe in the theory of Jesus and all that you believe somebody like, since we have been mentioning Moses and the rest, let's quickly mention names. You believe that somebody like Oyedepo, Bishop David Oyedepo, saw 18-hour vision. Were you there? You were not there. But what did the Bible tell you? It said, out of the mouth of two or three, truth will be established. Were you there? Were you there? You were not there. Are you there? I'm there. Somebody is saying, my great-great-grandfather. It will always be great-great. When the lie is so thick, they will transfer it to great-great. My great-great-grandfather ascended to the sky with a thread that his wife used to weave a Kuwaiti wrapper. My grandfather told us, because they want you to hold that trade and that particular trade very well, so that you too will be weaving a Kuwaiti wrapper, a Kuwaiti generation. When they call somebody a Kwe here, you don't even know what. Are you there? Are you there? What they told you about your great-great-grandfather is what they told us about tortoise. They told us this thing about tortoise. Ìyá takùn wálẹ̀ àlùjọ̀njọ̀n kirijan. Gbogbo ayé pa yèyé rẹ̀ jẹ́ àlùjọ̀njọ̀n kirijan. Ajá mú tirẹ̀ ó dọ̀run àlùjọ̀njọ̀n kirijan. Ìyá takùn wálẹ̀ o àlùjọ̀njọ̀n kirijan. It was when we grew up that we realized that tortoise cannot even talk to us. That is not even wise. It's one of the slowest animals. But they always say, Ìjàpá ọlọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀wẹ̀. He is so dumb, so shy. Story lọ́nà ẹ̀. They just dupe you with story. That's part of the thing we are talking about. Somebody will now be proud to say, my great-grandfather ascended to me. How? Where? That's how religion started. That's how people started enslaving people. That one said they saw 18-hour vision. There was one in the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. He told you that he drank tea with God. Your own God is so thirsty. Muti Nilorin. That he drank tea with God. You believe because what it to share. That's how scammer do. What if he not in no share? from the unknown to the known. One said that he drove his car without oil, without fuel, from several kilometers from Lagos to Shagamu. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ọ̀rà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rù nǹkan kan ẹ̀ sì bẹ̀rù ara yín. Ẹ bẹ̀rù àwọn tá a gbọ́rọ̀ yìí. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ọ̀rà. That's how scam starts. Bilewu Oshofa said Ijigbohunlo that whirlwind took him away for 7 years. TB Joshua also said his own. They always have a story to tell. They always have a story to tell. And you always have something to believe. Because you will not query, you will not confirm. That's how religion starts. Irore. Where the Irora? Where the dear Irore men pojuke? Iro wicked their pojuke. Where the Irora? Ogbonjari go niro. They say, but Jesus healed the dead, raised the dead. I say, why are there people in mortuary business? Are we saying all of them are unbelievers like us? The only place where dead people raise up is the church. That's because real dead people don't go to church. I remember as a Muslim, my sheikh told me that he's going to give me on two, so that I will be more brilliant. Nígbà tí mo hàn tú tán, mo wá hàn ìmọ̀ sí, orí mi wá kú lọ bí bátìrì tó ní wrong connection. In the pursuit of gaining so much intelligence by drinking onto, I became dull. The first time I took the onto was the first time I will ever have typhoid in my life. I struggled with it for a long time. It almost killed me. They said the blind can see in church. I said, because the real blind people don't go to church. They said the lame can work in church. I said, lame, why do we have people around? Don't they drive? Real people that are lame, they are not in church. They are on the, drag your pastor for me. Let me take him to where the lame are. Will you wake up or not? Is your choice. Let's go back to today's topic. And for those who will be bearing witness, you realize that since you have followed this way of life, you are saving money. You are saving money. There is no recurring bill like paying offering every time, paying tithe. Somebody will sit down and be laying claim on your own 10%. If you are not lying, you are saving money. And your health is also returning back. The fact that you don't need the blood of Jesus alone, ensure that your own blood is now full. They say blood-sucking demons are on the way. Blood-sucking demon on the way. And then you know by yourself that this highway has been contracted out and it is not well done. Controls everywhere. You enter the bus and the cab of a man who feels that if he's not alcoholic drunk, he cannot drive. You are using blood of Jesus. You say, God, come and take the wheel. You will meet that God that day. Maybe you are zoning everything to heaven. Every beautiful thing is zoned to heaven. Every beautiful thing. Every. Is that why they told you that you will get 72 virgins when you die after killing people? Only a sex-starved human being, a sex-starved maniac will believe in the concept of Al-Jannah with 72 heaven. tó o bá ráwọn obìnrin tí wọ́n ń rọ̀ ṣe gidi nílé ayé tó wà ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ look gooding àbí good looking whatever the case may be, ìbò bá jayé dé ayé gámọ̀ pé o jẹun. It's not like you'll be waiting to die. What will you use to now sleep with these 72 virgins? You want the con 72. Lórí pé o ti bá yára ẹ jẹ́ kó tó lọ. Somebody wrote a beautiful thing. He said, God dependency makes people addicted to religion because they don't want to take responsibility. Every irresponsible human being always stick to God. God is an opium. God is an addiction. God is a pill. They need it to survive. If you say what is love, they say God is love. As if humankind are not capable of loving. If you ask what is peace, they will say when we get to heaven, everything will be peaceful. As if we cannot create. Is it not we that is destroying this land? They say it is heaven that you will not cry anymore. That all fear will be cast away. All tears will be gone. All sudden, when I have the capability to make you smile, I refuse to. I want you to die first so that you can go. Well, ká bá sọ wọn kẹ́ńbẹ̀ gbà àwa ní aṣọ ìhà lè sọ kọ́rájì fún àṣìwọ̀n láyé. Ọkọ̀jì fọ kéèyàn bá ikú wẹ́n mọ iye ènìyàn. So, the Oduology now is the study of Odu inside out. From the first basic to the 16, ẹ̀rìndínlógún, to the 256, to other combination and permutation, according to how your situation demands. The etymology. What about the initiation? There is a part called Ishefa. There is another part called Itefa. Ishefa, Itefa. People who see Ifa as a deity, Orisha, a cult, people who see it as another form of society to belong to, often put themselves in trouble. I am of the opinion that either the matriculation or the convocation, let's say graduation. Convocation is too big a word to use when it comes to Ifa. Either the matriculation or the graduation none of these should be a thing of levity for any common man on the street. I see people use Ishefa as a means to conquer spiritual battle. I see people who consider Ishefa way more effective than ìbọrí. Ẹ ti gbàgbé pórí la bá bọ a ò bá fò ṣálẹ̀ torí gbà torí ń gbé ní bolo ṣáwà o. Orí rí àtẹ́tẹ́ nìran, orí àpèrire, kórí mi má ṣalátakò mi, kórí inú mi má bà tòde mi jẹ́, kí n má ṣorí gbé ilé ayé. I see people who think that a shefa is a higher replacement or higher dosage of ibori. Misconception everywhere. And I have done 100 thousands of divinations in my life. And I don't think, I'm saying the truth, I don't think in my record of divination, I've recommended a shefa for up to 20 people in my lifetime. I don't think I have recommended it for up to 20 people in my lifetime. Because it is not everybody that needs it. As stated and laid down by Baba Gboniregun Orunmila, only people who are called into this way of wisdom, who are in the position of a teacher, a diviner, a spiritualist, are to go through the extra mile of either being inducted or graduating. Just like every other institution of learning, Odu ni o. Odu is a spiritual gifting. Interpretation can come from spiritual gifting, but Odu itself is to be learned. Oral teaching, oral learning. If you have decided, or if we have checked your divination and it requires that this is your purpose in life, are you with me? That this is your own purpose in life, to be a diviner, that there is something in you that will be of greater help, that you are an insightful person who has been burdened with the responsibility of catering for others. Babalawo ní wo fáfó lówó, ṣé babaláwo ń lówó tó lówó ni? A sì máa pé òrí babaláwo tó ń dífá tí ò rí ìdí ara ẹ̀. But wọn bíire kó má sọ pé torí òun ò rí ìdí ara òun ò ní bẹ́lòmíì wá tiẹ̀. This is a duty you accept. This is a duty you voluntarily go into and say, even if I am hungry, it has become my own life's duty to make sure that other people eat. That you are not happy as a Babalawo does not mean that if people come to you to consult for their happiness, you cannot. You are not in the cadre of people who give out of what you have. You will give out of what the universe has shown you to give to them. You are not. A Babalawo can be poor, and yet is the one who is showing the one who is rich the way. Do you get the point? Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ronú ìṣẹ́rò mi ní take it easy fún torí mi wáyé àti ìjẹyà. Ẹ tètè gbọ́. That's why I don't do anything for free. The little money you give me for consultation, èmi náà fi ń pata sẹ́nu. Mi ìdẹ̀ ni wá tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ yín, and I won't charge you after that. Thank you. Babalawo le má rọmọ bí, yóò sì mọ dífá fẹ́ni tí ń bímọ bí eku ẹ̀dá. What I mean is that a Babalawo may be barren, but he is the one dividing for those who are fruitful. He must not, because, oh, I have not given birth, now say I will not work for those who are fruitful. He is a servant. He will live a servitude life. Selfless life. It is because of this that we now do a shefa for them. Do you know what a shefa is? A shefa is a covenant you are making with the universe that you will be at the service of men. They will not tell you the nitty-gritty during the course of that. That is the reason why some people say, after I've done my shefa, my life became worse. Why? Because you are not upholding the things you confess to be. With your koro eye like this, you decided to go and make a vow and covenant. You utter words. You bow your ori. You submitted your spirituality to the universe and say, use me for others so that they can gain happiness and insight into how life runs. And then you now go back and you now started living your life, not catering for others. So when your Babalawo do not put you through the nitty-gritty and walk you through it, or the essence, or even the consequences of doing a shefa and not following up, is putting you in trouble. Unfortunately, people think that doing a shefa is a way of empowering themselves against each other. And may I tell you this thing? Don't go against the person who have your Ifa at hand. That's why we always tell people, take your Ifa. You can use 200,000 to do a shefa. Somebody can use 15 naira only to destroy your life if he has your Ifa at hand. That is your spirituality. That is your divinity. They will just give your Ifa what you should not take. That's all. Otikuni, hold on. So it now takes an extra responsibility, extra precaution for you to now say, okay, this is the man. A man who you call your Babalawo should be temperate in all situations and should have control over their emotion. Because there are too many secrets you are leaking to him, which he can use against you. Tọrọ yóò bá wọ̀ mọ́. Wọ́n ní rere ni wọ́n ṣe wo díṣe kà bíre bá di bí ìpàdé dọ̀hún o. The problem is when a Babalawo tries to hurt someone one time, he will do it again. And that's the end of his own career. So some people, some title-mongering, power-mongering set of people just feel that, okay, I have Ifa. Okay, now do you do what Ifa takes? Naturally, as I was taught and trained, if you come to me to do Ishefa, I will not recommend Itefa for you. That is a matriculation. Nobody get matriculated and claim to have graduated from a university. What happened after matriculation? Tell me. The institution accepts you in. They begin to train you. In the course of your training, if you go against the policy and the rules and regulations governing that institution, they can either rusticate you, suspend you, or give you a repeated class. People get matriculated in Ifa and they claim to be a Babalawo. Some people will recommend 5 years for them. Some people will recommend 7 years for them. Some we can even recommend 15 years for them. Why do we do that? It is the process. They have to learn the Odu one after the other. Not only learn, but to behave according to what the Odu is telling them. First, are you temperate enough? Because the Odu is supposed, all these Odus are supposed to reflect in your way of life, in the way you handle matters, and the way you respond to mankind. In the course of that is where we also help you to own your skill, your spiritual gifting. Where we send you some messages and allow you to use your intuition. Where people bring several cases and we tell you, what do you think we can do to it? We now begin to now tell you how to respond to the universe independently of Odu. Independently of Odu. Okay, you have seen a bad person who is going through issue. You don't know what they have done. If you act to it, it will also cause you trouble. We now leave you. You are in a field course. How are you tuning your hearing to the universe? Àwọn ẹ̀mí sì ti ń bọ̀ ń bá olùṣẹ́ ń gbà during the course of those years. Before we now take you into the forest of Odu, the forest of Odu, we call it Igbo Odu. Igbo Odu is where we now do what we call initiation for you after you have learned Odu. You don't know Odu, you went to Igbo Odu. People who do not know Odu, they are in the forest of Odu. What are you doing there? You failed your 4-year course, you want to wear graduation gown. What are you doing there? So people just say, Ashete, Ashefa fun atu te fun. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò yé. So why didn't they call it Igbo Ifa? Why did they call it Igbo Odu? Think about it. Somebody knew nothing about anything. You do Ishefa for them today, you do Itefa for them today, to become what exactly? To become a time bomb. Àti máa dàyàn láàmú. So whenever we make the decision, I say, this person should have Ifa. We are telling you that this person is endowed with wisdom that is beyond their present level. We need to tame and train them so they can be a replacement of Orunmila in the future. So that we can make them a replacement, a continuity agent. So you don't know Odu, you went to Igbo Odu to do what? To go and destroy yourself? So it is not Ifa you learn, it is Odu you learn. The study of Odu is called Oduology. It is when you have learned the Odu and recite it and be able to know the application that we now go to Induction. It is then that several other Babalawos will come. They'll give you different kind of Ajesara. They will give you different kind of vaccine. They will make proclamation on you. They will tell you so many secrets because they have initiated you in the order. And the fact that you enter Igbo Odu still does not mean that you are fully a Babalawo. Have you started doing the miraculous? Have you started behaving as God? Are you with me? That you Shefa and you Tefa does not make you a Babalawo. It doesn't. It is your application of what you know and the result that you get that makes you a Babalawo. Do not be eager to seek for power that will destroy you. As it too fast méjì. It's not like you do Ishefa here and the person will say, hold on, don't get into that trouble yet, don't get into that deep water yet. And you now go and lie to someone that you don't have Ifa before. They now do it for you again. Your foundation is faulty, your righteousness will be nothing. Àìtúfàṣe lẹ́ẹ̀mejì o. O kò lè máa ṣẹ́fà kiri bí wèrè o. O kò lè máa ṣẹ́fà Shefa kiri bí aláṣẹ́wó. Aṣẹ́wó yàtọ̀ sí aṣẹ́fá o. Whatever you want to do, go and collect your original Ifa. Take it to the person who, there's nothing saying that it is where you do Ishefa that you must do Itefa. As long as they follow the progress. So when people just call you and say, come home for Ishefa, come home for Itefa, and they take money from you, they are not only scamming you, they are putting you in trouble. Sometimes, well, it might not be troublesome because sometimes even what they did for you is fake, but you will not know it is fake. You will not know it is fake because you don't know the nitty-gritty of it. Some people, it is their major business. Ishefa and Itefa, that's what they major in. And they saw that this is the awakening of African spirituality. People want to come home, and they dupe a lot of these African Americans a lot. And those ones are desperate. They knew nothing. They think that wearing white or burning incense or having some images is what spirituality is about. So they will start saying, I want to say a special thank you to Oya. I'm gonna go. Is that are you there? There is an aura that comes with people who know this way of life. Are you with me? It is not about the dressing up. It's not in the dressing. It's not how much English you can speak. It's not even how much Odu you can. Man, the Odu on Divination right now is talking about all one magic. All one magic. I'm gonna, where the aura, PD, take it slow. Calm down. Go and learn. To become a Babalawo is not a day job. Can I offend you? I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. You know, when I apologize that I don't want to hurt your feelings, I want to hurt it. For me. I was holding microphone in Redeemed Christian Church of God, but going to a lady to go and do my Ifa. And I thought I was hard. Until I started meeting your GOs. Until I started meeting your pastors. Until I started meeting all these, let somebody shout hallelujah. Ni lady. They call it coven or conclave. You know what be? Yeah, I can't be food. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that as I'm done with religion. I will just. The transition was gradual, but you have to mark your time. You have to mark your time. It is only those who do not know when to and how to. They start so fast and they blow up. Somebody say, I don't blow. What happens to something that blow? Fuse here blow. Oh my tetoni. You know nada. When we were doing our own Itefa, we were not even posting pictures. We were not even thinking of becoming popular or being able to talk to people like this. When we were doing it, was so crude. People were so judgmental. Life was so uneasy to live. Ama Toribo, we dip our hand into it and say we'll start. Don't buy anybody negotiate. It's about anybody negotiate. Are you sure you are not jumping ahead of the gun? Are you sure that coming to Isheshe and spirituality of the African ancestors will not become your end, your sudden end? Are you sure? You are taking the necessary training and you are marking your time. Are you sure? For parents also, don't say I don't want you. Let nobody put your children in trouble. Allow them to mark time and learn. Let them learn. Fortunately, in this dispensation, we are making it so easy for a lot of people. We are opening up a class by September 5th, a class September 5th, where we are going to be teaching our children. Some adults who want to also join, age 6 and above. The Erin Dilogun, we are teaching them Erin Dilogun, how to recognize each of these Odu and the basic interpretation behind them. So that even if you encounter a fake Babalawo in the future, you'll be able to pick him out. It costs only 200 USD to register for that class. 200 USD. You'll be learning the Erin. 4-week course every Sunday in the month of September 2021. Every Sunday in the month of September 2021. You can easily just register. Just reach out to me on my Telegram page. It's scrolling below right now. Reach out to me on my Telegram page and we talk about how to get you registered. Either adult or young children. At least to know the basis. So you don't you don't want to come out gone too soon. In the process of I want to man, I want to you will not just go gone too soon. It is time for you to ask your questions now. That's the end of the teaching. It's time for you to ask your questions. Start asking your questions now. We have a few minutes and then we wrap up. I'm waiting on you. Ask your questions. If there are questions to be asked, it is time for us to do that. If there are no questions, if I've answered all your questions, I'm just going to close the broadcast. Do not say Baba Yooba just talk on our head all the time. It doesn't allow us to ask questions. I always ask people, do you have questions? So if you don't have questions, you can like the video. If you don't have the questions, you can like the video so that it can go viral and be suggested to other people. Because the more people that get the message, the more Africans that can be free. Someone said my baby is only 2-year-old. No, the class is not for your baby. The class is not for a 2-year-old child. Someone said we are speechless. Is that why you don't have questions? If I've answered everybody's questions, there's no need for us to wait. Ashe. 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 This is an unusual teaching today. Nobody has questions. Wow. All right. There's no question. We can just call it today. But don't forget, you can always register. Between now and the end of August, you can register for that Orisha Masterclass, Introduction to Orisha Lifestyle. It is still ongoing, and you'll be able to learn a lot in that class. Someone is asking, said it all. Okay, so this is pretty much the flyer is above there. The introduction to Orisha Lifestyles flyer is showing above. You can go through it. It's just costing 200 USD alone. Let's train these children, catch them young, and help them be better. Help them be better. All right. So someone is asking, can a family of 3 kids pay same money as it for one single person? No, it's per head though. It's per head though. It's per head, 200 per head. But we can talk about discounts privately. All right. So someone is asking, about, I want to ask, how do you give thanks in African spirituality? Do you speak to the universe or there are special rites? There are different ways of giving thanks. One of the ways is to pour libation on the earth. To pour libation on the earth. Or to hold your head as your Ori and give thanks to your head. Another way is if you had gone for divination and the rite came back as good and you achieve success, what you do is to give your Babalawo a gift. Babalawo layin, Babalawo ayifa, Ifan Yolodumare. You give your Babalawo a gift. Remember, I didn't say you give me a gift, I say your Babalawo a gift. It is very logical you gift those people who stood by you, especially in time of need. Somebody said, I'm sorry, please, but it's expensive. Yeah, it's not for you now. It's not for you now. The children of those we are going to be teaching will teach your own children. So it's not something that you can come and be negotiating, or it's not for everybody. Knowledge is for those who can pay for it. You get it once and that's all. If you don't think it is worthy of investment, then there's no need to bother yourself. I also like to bring this to your notice. This is one of the outreach we did at Oduology recently. And in this outreach, we feed children children who live in our community. You understand? Children who live in our community, we feed them for now once in a month. We provide good meal for them once in a month, and then we try to make sure that they feel special, because they are indeed special. These are the children that replace us in the future, and we just want them to be happy by giving them the kind of kingly treatment that they deserve. And so we're asking, if you want to be part of us, people give donation as low as 20 pounds, $20 every month. That is done through our African Spirituality Hub. We gather the money together. We feed like 500 children monthly. 500 children monthly. And we try to make sure we put a smile on their face, make them happy. You know, some people come to us and then the only thing we tell them to go and do is to go and feed children, little children. And this is something that we have taken also as people, as Orishas, to feed these children in the community, 500 of them or thereabout every month. For now, we are starting with once a month. In a few months' time, we'll be able to increase it to twice a month. And then we'll move it up from there, from twice a month to almost every week. We just want them to have a balanced diet, because only well-fed children can embrace African spirituality. Only well-fed children can embrace African spirituality. If they are hungry, it's easy for terrorism to take advantage of them, these politicians and these religious people. So we said we will feed them ourselves and also make them happy. So that is a project you can be part of in our community, in our Orisha community. And it's happening every time on our mountain, the Orisha mountain, every time. People give as low as 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50,000 and all that. And then we provide good meal for these ones. The next one is happening on the 21st or 28th of this month, in a few weeks' time. And then we hope to feed more children than that. So if you also want to be part of it, you can just reach out to us on Telegram, in our community, Telegram community, to be a part of it. Nothing you give is too small. We'll be sure to maximize it and make sure that it goes around for every child. Again, before we close on the 28th, okay? Next one is happening on the 28th. So before we close again, the Orisha Elementary Masterclass is coming up. And then there's another flyer towards that event, and you can make it happen. All right. So having said that, I guess we have tried for the day. Someone is asking here that what makes one come up, what causes someone to wake up between 2 and 3 a.m. every night? You realize it's not going to be like that for long. You just take advantage of the time that the universe is calling you onto herself for now. It won't always be like that. There may be something you need to learn. There may be words of degree, affirmation that you might need to pour into the universe for that moment. It's not something that will happen to you for the rest of your life. All right. So, we're going to call it a day now. If you want to reach me for consultation and all, it's scrolling below. They're scrolling below at Babalawo on Telegram. That's how to reach me for consultation. I don't respond to WhatsApp call and all again. For consultation at Babalawo on Telegram. And if you want to be part of our Telegram shrine at African Spirituality Hub, on Telegram. African Spirituality Hub on Telegram. Every information you need is scrolling below, except you are not taking a cue from it. Do not also forget that As a person, I would like you to ignore anyone who contacts you via email, inbox, WhatsApp, or any means claiming to be my representative or canvassing you to seek spiritual guidance. I'm not going to contact you first. If you reach out to me, I'll answer you when it gets to your turn or when I'm chanced. But I'm not going to come haunting you in your inboxes, asking you that your ancestors sent me to you. I don't know your ancestors. I don't even know if you are alien. So there's no way they can send me to you. I don't know your mother's name. That's your spiritual password. So we wala wa babalawo. Babalawo iwa in your love. Thank you very much, and do have a wonderful. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ire lójú owó rí kójú yín re o. Ọgbọ́rọ̀ báyìí lọ́wọ́ ń yọjú orí. Ẹ yọjú orí o. Ẹ yọjọ̀tá o. Ekukeku irun kó borí asín o. Èèràkéèrà irun kó borí ìkàmọ̀dù. Ẹrankẹ́ranko ìkan irun kó borí òbúkọ. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín dá kíka látòní lọ o. Ẹni bá ń rojú yan níbi akíka. Àṣà ìka wọn mọ́lẹ̀ àkíka. Àṣẹ kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Don't forget this month divination, the August divination. You should get yourself up to date on our Instagram page, to see the divination and what to do, the right you are to perform. Ire o, ó dìgbà.